Welcome to our in-depth technical analysis of THMO, a stock traded on the OTC exchange. In this video, we'll break down the latest data, explore key technical indicators, and help you understand what's happening with this unique stock. Whether you're a seasoned trader or just starting out, this analysis will provide valuable insights into THMO's recent performance and what the numbers might mean for its future. Let's begin by setting the stage with a quick overview of the stock's current status and why it's caught the attention of market watchers. As of December 31, 2025, THMO is trading at an incredibly low price of 0.000001. This price point is significant as it places the stock at the very bottom of its 52-week range. Such a low price can indicate either a distressed asset or a potential opportunity for speculative traders. We'll keep this context in mind as we move through the technical indicators and historical data to see if there are any signs of reversal or continued weakness. Looking at the last 3 months, THMO has only had 19 trading days with recorded activity. The price has hovered at either 0.0001 or 0.000001, with very little movement in between. Volume has also been sporadic, with some days seeing just over 100 shares traded and others spiking to over 60,000. This lack of consistent trading activity is typical for many OTC stocks and can make technical analysis more challenging, but also more interesting for those seeking hidden patterns. Let's start with the simple moving averages, SMA. The SMA values for THMO range from 0.00008 on the 5-day to 0.191 on the 200-day. Notably, the short-term SMAs are clustered around the current price, while the longer-term averages are much higher. This suggests that the stock has experienced a significant decline over time, with recent prices dragging the shorter averages down. The divergence between short and long-term SMAs is a classic sign of a prolonged downtrend. Exponential moving averages, EMA, give more weight to recent prices and can reveal momentum shifts earlier than SMAs. For THMO, the short-term EMAs are also close to the current price, but the longer-term EMAs, such as EMA 200 at 4.36, are dramatically higher. This wide gap between short and long-term EMAs further confirms the persistent downward momentum and lack of recent price recovery. Volume is a crucial indicator of market interest. THMO's on-balance volume, OBV, is over 58 million, but this number is skewed by a few high-volume days. The volume ratio over 20 days is 0.471, and relative volume is just 0.347, indicating that recent trading activity is well below average. Low volume can signal a lack of investor interest or a waiting period before a potential move. Bollinger Bands are used to measure volatility and potential price breakouts. For THMO, the upper band is at 0.0002, the middle at 0.000085, and the lower at -0.000005. The band width is 2.11, which is unusually wide given the tiny price range. This suggests that despite the low price, there's still considerable volatility, possibly due to the illiquid nature of the stock. The MACD, Moving Average Convergence Divergence, is a popular momentum indicator. For THMO, the MACD is negative at -0.0003, with the signal line at -0.0004 and a small positive histogram. This setup suggests weak momentum and a lack of bullish crossover. The MACD momentum is also slightly positive, but not enough to signal a trend reversal. RSI is a key indicator for identifying overbought or oversold conditions. THMO's RSI values are all below 40, with the 14-day RSI at 34.64. This places the stock in the oversold territory but not at extreme levels. The RSI momentum is negative, indicating that the downward pressure is still present and there's no immediate sign of reversal. The stochastic oscillator helps identify momentum and potential reversal points. For THMO, the 14-day stock K is at 33.33 and stock D is at 66.67. The 21-day values are higher, but the 5-day values are essentially zero. This mixed picture suggests that while there may be some short-term exhaustion, there's no clear signal of a reversal yet. Momentum indicators like Momentum 10 and Momentum 20 are both negative at -0.000099, and the rate of change, ROC 14, is a dramatic -99. These readings confirm that the stock has lost nearly all of its value over the measured period, and there's little evidence of a turnaround in the short term. The average true range, ATR, measures volatility. For THMO, the ATR 14 is 0.0002, but the NATR 14 is an astronomical 21,765.05. This is a result of the extremely low price, which makes percentage-based volatility measures skyrocket. It's important to interpret these numbers in context, as they may exaggerate the true risk for such a low-price stock. Volatility 30 is 4,037.95, and true volatility matches the NATR at 21,765.05. These high volatility readings are typical for penny stocks and especially those with minimal trading activity. For traders, this means that even small trades can cause large price swings, making risk management essential. The trend strength score for THMO is 0.1, and the trend quality index is 48.28. These values indicate a very weak trend with little conviction in either direction. The MA alignment is further confirming that moving averages are stacked in a bearish order. Overall, the technical trend remains negative. The ADX14 is at 21.3, which is below the threshold for a strong trend. The plus DI14 is 30.34, and minus DI14 is 23.41, suggesting a slight bullish bias but not enough to overcome the overall weakness. The DX14 at 12.88 also points to a lack of clear direction. Arun down is at 100 and Arun up is at 96, with the Arun oscillator at minus 7.14. This setup indicates that the stock has recently hit new lows, but there's still some upward movement in the recent data. However, the overall reading is bearish as the Arun down is at its maximum. Williams %R is at minus 100, which is the lowest possible value, indicating extreme oversold conditions. The Commodity Channel Index CCI 20 is at minus 254.9, also deep in the oversold territory. These indicators suggest that the stock is heavily sold, but as with other signals, there's no guarantee of an imminent bounce. The Money Flow Index, MFI 14, is at 0, and the Accumulation Distribution, AD, is negative at minus 1,961,470. The Chaikin Oscillator is also negative. These readings indicate that there's little to no buying pressure and that sellers have dominated the recent trading sessions. Pivot Point, Resistance 1 and Support 1 are all at 0.000001, matching the current price. This means the stock is sitting right at its calculated support and resistance levels with no clear breakout or breakdown. It's a sign of stagnation and uncertainty, with the market waiting for a catalyst. The overall technical score for THMO is 59.6, which is slightly above neutral but not strong enough to indicate a clear buy or sell signal. The Trend Quality Index is 48.28, reinforcing the idea that the current trend is weak and lacks conviction. Traders should be cautious and look for additional confirmation before making any moves. THMO's 52-week high is $1.25, while the low is 0.000001, which is exactly where the stock is trading now. The 52-week position is at 0, meaning the stock is at its absolute lowest point for the year. This context is important for understanding the risk and potential reward for any future price movement. Linear regression indicators provide insight into the trend's consistency. For THMO, the slope is essentially 0, and the R-squared value is 0.53, indicating a weak correlation and little predictive power. The predicted value and deviation are also near 0, reinforcing the lack of a clear trend. Price acceleration is negative at minus 0.000099, confirming that the stock is not only declining but doing so at an increasing rate. This is a warning sign for anyone considering a speculative entry, as it suggests the downward momentum could continue. The daily return is minus 99, and the cumulative RSI is a staggering minus 10,309.82. These numbers highlight the extreme losses experienced by THMO over the recent period. Such dramatic declines are rare and signal a stock in distress. Volume growth rate is 3.02, but volume acceleration is negative at. This means that while there may have been a brief spike in volume, the overall trend is downward and trading activity is slowing. The beta 14 is exactly 1, indicating that THMO's price movement is in line with the broader market, at least over the short term. However, the correlation 20 is 0, suggesting no meaningful relationship with the market over the last 20 days. This disconnect is common in illiquid stocks. The volume-weighted average price VWAP is 6.08, far above the current price. The VWAP diff percentage is minus 100, showing that the stock is trading well below its average price. This is another sign of persistent weakness and lack of buying interest. In summary, nearly all technical indicators for THMO point to a stock in distress. The price is at its lowest, momentum is negative, volatility is high, and volume is low. While oversold signals are present, there's no clear evidence of a reversal. This is a classic case of a penny stock with high risk and uncertain reward. Investing in stocks like THMO comes with significant risks. The lack of liquidity, extreme volatility, and persistent downtrend mean that prices can move sharply on very little volume. Always use proper risk management and be aware that such stocks can be highly unpredictable. To wrap up, THMO's technical picture is overwhelmingly bearish, with little sign of recovery in the near term. While oversold conditions could attract speculative interest, the risks far outweigh the potential rewards for most investors. As always, do your own research and consult with a financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Thank you for watching this technical analysis deep dive on THMO.